Well, hello and welcome back to Brambleberry. The sun is shining, the panels are charging, but we're still running a generator. But I'm about to start remedying that, so if you want to see what I got going on, stick around. Got that one going, been running that one too. Of course, power's coming in. See what we got coming in right now. 1500 watts. My array on paper should be putting out more than that, but I'm using older secondhand panels, so they don't put out as much. And in the summertime, when it gets hot, efficiency drops on those things by a bit. So the combination of those has dropped it down. It should be on paper putting out well over 2,000 watts, but it's not happening. So I've been trying to figure out how I can quit using my generators so much. You know, in the spring and the fall, it's fine. We have more than enough power. But in the summer and the winter time, it's an issue. In the summer, it's because we're running the air conditioner, especially like we've had a string here of a week and a half probably of high 90s, you know, and near 100% humidity outside. So it's been pretty unbearable. I could add another Greywater and a whole other solar array, but I don't really have room in my solar shed for that. Eventually I'm going to add one when we build a house and all. But in the meantime, I'm just going to get some more solar panels and hook up a separate solar array on its own charge controller just for the purpose of charging up my batteries, so that when the sun is out, they will charge up faster. I'll have power coming in to the Greywater from my current array. That'll power whatever's on at the moment, and then the other charge controller will continue charging the batteries. Because what I'm running into right now, during the day, I'm getting, you know, whatever, 1500 watts out, but it's all going to run basically everything I've got running, plus while it's not charging the batteries, they're just staying low because there's not enough extra power, if that makes sense. I know I'm talking a lot, but I'll show you what the start of what I got going on here. So this dude just came in the mail today. It's a solar charge controller, and I'm going to be able to hook up a pretty decent size array to this. This is all I have so far. Tomorrow I'm supposed to be going to get some solar panels on Marketplace. I found some actually new panels that a guy got a deal on. He does, I bought panels from him before, but he does solar installations and stuff, and sometimes he, you know, sells recycled ones and such. But anyway, he got some 400 watt bifacial solar panels, so they could potentially put out up to 500. So I don't need to have as many of them. I think I'm gonna get like 4, maybe 6. But that'll get me a pretty good amount, and I'm hoping between adding those and this charge controller that I'll be able to replace most of my generator usage. Probably not all of it. You know, if we have a day where like today we're doing laundry and running the air conditioner, and that just takes up a lot of power. So I'll probably still have to run my generator a bit, but it'll be not nearly as much. At least that's the goal. We'll just have to try it and find out. I don't really have time to get to installing this today, but I guess I will go ahead and unbox it. I'm kind of itching to see what we got in here. All right, so our typical, you know, manuals and the like. This is hard to do one-handed. There, that's better. Looks pretty straightforward here. It's got fins on the back to dissipate heat. That's gonna go in the solar shed up against our concrete board on the back. And then you got your solar in here at the bottom and your battery out. So it should be a pretty simple setup. Let's go see if it's gonna actually fit in there, or if I'm gonna have to move some stuff around. So it looks like there's actually enough space side to side, but that's just not enough there, and I need to have room to excuse me, to tie into this. I'm gonna put another breaker here between the panels and that unit. So I'm probably gonna have to move the Greywater over and maybe move that down a bit, and then I'll have room there on that side. Of course, there's other components. This is the first of the things I have ordered that has come in. So I still have you know, wiring and connectors and all that. And the thing that's probably gonna be a big ordeal is figuring out how to mount these panels. So this is the array as it stands currently. These are, so I've got 9 panels actually mounted, and then I never actually did mount these. They just kind of sit back here and hang out, which is fine, I guess. It's not the best, it's not ideal, but they do give us a little extra power. But I'm thinking about maybe expanding this little installation right here and putting some more posts in. I used 4x4 posts on this initially, and they are a little too flimsy, so I had to come back here and brace them with this 4x6. So I think if I do this, I'm gonna have to use 4x6s, and then I probably won't have to do that back brace. And I can't anyway, because back here I've got our Greywater system buried underground, and I gotta be careful about that too, because this gets pretty soft out here, you know, from water coming out of that. So I got to stay up here up front. If you're interested in seeing the Greywater system, then there's a video somewhere about that. If I think about it, I'll put a link here in the video or in the comments. Not the comments, or I don't know. I'll put a link somewhere if I think about it. But anyhow, that's kind of my thought process right now. I still got to get the panels, and I still got to get to the other components before I get this thing going, but I really want to get it going because, man, we're just drowning in gas, I guess you could say. Not really, because we're using it too much. Just having to run those generators almost constantly these days because of the heat. And it's pretty similar to that in the winter. I did some calculations on the amount of gas we've been using and the amount of days and so forth that we would use the generators more. And I think with the cheaper panels that I'm getting and this setup, that the setup is going to pay for itself within a year's time. So that'll be good. But anyway, just wanted to tell you what is coming down the pike here, and hopefully in the coming weeks I'll have some updates and show you kind of the process and me installing all this. So as always, if you watch this long, I thank you for watching. Actually, some other thoughts. I think for those 3 panels, I somehow extend this. What I really want to do is make this longer on each end so I can have an extra one and higher up there. But I'm afraid that that's going to be too much surface area for wind to catch for that structure. So what I probably need to do is come down here and put at least 1 more post in, if not 2, and mount those up like I have those. So that would take care of those panels back there, which I'm not concerned about doing that so much right now as I am getting these new panels installed. So the thing is, these are bifacial solar panels. So that means that the backside of them actually produces power as well from reflectivity. So if you have them on top of a surface that reflects more light, then they produce more power. And I think their output, it could potentially be up to like 500 watts each. But I don't know how real world that is. We'll have to see. So take a look at all this reflective material. But we have to be able to drive through here still. So I think though I have enough room to where if I brought in a little bit more rock and extended this back, there's rock kind of far back here already. It's just got grass growing in it because we don't drive back here. I could kill that off, extend my rock back just a little bit more there. Then I have to worry about, you know, weed eating or cutting under it like I do those. It's kind of a pain. But ground mount the new panels here in front of these. And I just got to make sure that I get them far enough in front so that especially in the winter time, they're not shading the panels behind them. It's all just thoughts. Sorry I'm talking so much in this video. But anyway, as I started to say, I hope you have a very blessed day.